let's start with the Paris Saint-Germain Benfica group and that incredible ending.
Incredible.
So, just to set the scene, Paris Saint-Germain, Benfica, both already qualified.
Yeah.
Juventus hosting Paris Saint-Germain, and they're losing 2-1. Maccabi Haifa hosting Benfica. And because of the way the tiebreakers basically panned out, the two teams were level on points. They were level on everything, except for goal difference in the group.
Yes, exactly. Then I started with PSG +8 and Benfica +4.
So Benfica had to win by 5 goals to finish first in the group.
Yeah.
And it was 2-1, like already in the second half. I mean,
It was 1-1 at halftime, and then Grimaldo scored early in the second half to make it 2-1. But still, up to the 69th minute, it was still just 2-1.
And then 4 goals in 20 minutes for Benfica. Now, in the olden days, where people are all suspicious and stuff like that. Was there anything? I know, like, you know, you guys are Latin, like us, right? So, like, was there any of that in the French press this morning, or was it more like, Paris Saint-Germain, don't complain.
A little bit.
You screwed this up again.
Yeah, Jérôme Roten on his radio show last night. It was a bit like, well, I saw the Maccabi goalkeeper leaving the stadium with his brand new Lamborghini. You know, those kind of jokes. In the end, he came to PSG scored another goal against Maccabi last week. It would have been enough for another goal against Juve. They would have topped the group. They didn't. There was not much between the two teams when they faced each other, the two 1-1 draws. In the end, it went down to the 7th tiebreaker in all the lists. So head-to-heads, goal scored, goal difference, goal conceded, all of that. It went to away goal scored, which Benfica was better than PSG.
I want to get into, for a moment, though, talking about Benfica, because I kind of feel that, you know, we haven't spoken about them much
that's true.
This season, but they're having a tremendous season domestically.
Yeah.
They had that incredible undefeated run. They went in a different direction, obviously, in appointing Roger Schmidt. What's the secret here? Bearing in mind that this is a team that, let's face it, because of the screwed up class system we have in football, basically has to sell pieces and replace them every year.
So they lose their best players every year, including Darwin Núñez, for example, last summer, of course. They changed managers again. Jorge Jesus was there last season. He was a shambles. Then Verissimo came in as an interim coach for the end of the season. And then Roger Schmidt, who had something good going on at PSV, and we were even surprised when he announced that he was leaving to go to Benfica. All of that, but 22 games in the season in all competitions, and they're still unbeaten. Pretty remarkable the way they play with the intensity.
We're thinking they're the only unbeaten. Okay, we would normally say in the Big Five. Let's call it Big Six now, include Portugal. That's still pretty amazing.
Yeah, them and PSG are the only ones who haven't lost. You know, Bayern have lost, not in the Champions League, but in the league. Napoli have lost against Liverpool now, the first game. City too, but yeah, they've been impressive. They've got a right mix of experience with Joao Mario, for example, and youth. Antonio Silva is the new centre-back prodigy that they have, only 18 years of age, really impressive. Gonzalo Ramos. But everywhere, there's so much talent. And I think Schmidt has brought that kind of intensity, the way they press and counter-press is very impressive too.
I didn't think Ramos could step it up so quickly in terms of scoring.
It's good. 12 goals this season already.
And I didn't think... I know, that's when you said, like, Darwin who? You know?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
And I certainly didn't think that João Mario would be having this renaissance. I mean... He's had so many ups and downs in his career, so many horrible moments. But there's a player. Is there a player in there, or is it down to Roger Schmidt?
Of course. No. I think a bit of both. But he's so versatile, can play everywhere, in very different positions. Really, pretty much, apart from goalkeeper, I think any position he can play. He's the one that scored the 6th goal in added time to put them top of the group. And after in his celebration, they were looking at the bench saying, "Is this okay? What's the PSG? Are we top?" Remarkable. But I think it's the experience, the leadership that he brings as well that is such an added value to this team, especially with the sort of younger players coming through. Florentino Luis, for example, is doing really well. Enzo has been one of the signings of the summer in the Big Six leagues. So, no, really, really good what they have and what they're going through so far.
I mean, with Portugal having 2 teams through and Sporting screwing it up, as we'll see later, I do wonder whether we should start talking Big Six leagues now rather than Big Five. You know, especially since we judge people are saying, "Oh, look, the Premier League is stronger than this." I mean, you're not. If you're judging
one more club than La Liga in the last 16. So.
Exactly, but ultimately, though, all we're judging is how many teams who do well in European competition do we have. It's not a measure of the league.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.